Yes, and ma'am, Ms.
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
hold on the line. We're going to put you into a breakout room with our court liaison officer to try to clarify that issue for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Arbor Woods versus Alexandra Figueroa Mejia. Figueroa Mejia. They are not here. Ms. Dornbush, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. There's rent to retain of $4,406.54, costs of $186, for a total due of $4,592.54. And we'd ask for a default possession only judgment with writ to issue after 10 days.
Judgment to the plaintiff by default for possession, redemption amount in the amount requested, writ issued in 10 days. Arbor Woods versus Christopher Finkowitz. Christopher Finkowitz, they have not checked in. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. It looks like at this point, Mr. Finkowitz only owes a portion of the court costs, so the total balance due is $132.21. We'd ask for a default possession only judgment with writ to issue after 10 days, and in light of that balance, I assume the court will indicate no writ without hearing.
That is correct. Judgment to the plaintiff, that's by default for possession. Redemption amount is in the amount requested with the writ issue in 10 days, no writ without a hearing. Arbor Woods versus Torrance Johnson. Torrance Johnson, you're not checked in. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. There's rent to retain of $1,628.47, cost of $186, for a total due of $1,814.47. And we'd ask for a default possession only judgment with writ to issue after 10 days.
Judgment to the plaintiff by default for possession. Redemption amount is in the amount requested with the writ issue in 10 days. Arbor Woods versus David McLeod. David McLeod, they've not checked in. You may proceed.
Thank you. There's rent to retain of $788, cost of $186, for a total due of $974. We'd ask for a default possession only judgment with writ to issue after 10 days.
Judgment to the plaintiff by default for possession. Redemption amount is in the amount requested. Writ issue in 10 days. Arbor Woods versus Tyrone Miller.
And that's a dismissal, Your Honor.
That's a dismissal. That case is dismissed. That's without prejudice. Court calls the case of Arbor Woods versus David Pitchford Jr. and Helen Cummings. Pitchford, Cummings.
I'm here. I'm trying to get.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get my camera on. Okay. Hello.
Oh, there you are. Okay. All right. You're Miss Cummings?
Yes, sir.
All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
No, Your Honor, the remaining balance due is $296.83. It's about $55 in rent, and then the court costs of $242.
Okay, so $296.83.
That's correct.
All right. All right, Miss Cummings.
Yes, sir.
When are you going to get that paid?
Well, this is my case, Your Honor. They charged me late fees after telling me that they would dismiss my late fees. Then I end up with court costs. Now I'm on a fixed income. I pay my rent on time every month. I own my modular. And this time I ran into an error with the computer system. We're just now getting a site manager here. So no one's there at the office to help us with our problem. I've been here for 10 years. I was told to pay online. And the reason to have to pay online is so we don't have to pay a lot of court charges because they log it in late. But now here I am trying to pay online and it keeps coming up error. I go to the office. We don't have a site manager. I finally get someone. They tell me they're going to dismiss the charges. And then they didn't. I'm on a fixed income. I can't pay that. By the time I went in to pay what I thought they told me to pay, which was $7.50, it was at $11.77.17. I didn't have that. And you overcharge.
Okay, Ms. Cummings. Ms. Cummings?
Yes.
When you say you fell behind in your rent, They filed a case back in May.
I paid them in May,
And
Judge
Your
Smith.
Honor, if I
Yes.
may, I'm reviewing the ledger and it does look like my client did credit the May late fee of $55, leaving a balance due of $739.83, but that balance wasn't paid until May 21st, and at that point, this case had already been initiated. So there's the court cost of
Okay.
they're on the ledger for $244.15, but I think they're actually $242. So our balance makes that adjustment. It reduces it by $2.15. And then I do show the $750 paid on May 21st. There was an additional late fee on May 21st of $30. June charges hit, and there was a payment of $790.74. Looks like that was paid on June 7th. And so there was a June late fee of $55 that was charged as well on the rollover balance.
Got it.
And I'm on a fixed income. I can't pay.
Okay. All
Other
right,
than what
Miss
I
Cummings. Miss
Yeah.
Cummings.
Yeah.
If you had to get this paid, how do you think you can get it paid?
$1 down, $1 a month. I'm on a
Pardon?
straight up fixed income, Judge Simmons. I don't have extra money. And
Ma'am,
I'm raising a
Miss
grandchild.
Cummings.
Yes.
Miss Cummings.
Yes.
I hear you.
Okay.
Okay. The reason I was asking the questions that I was asking is because if I didn't think that you owed it, I would say so. But it sounds like it's owed. So the question becomes, and that the case was properly initiated. So then the question becomes for me as to how you can get this paid.
I have to pay a little bit at a time. I don't have money.
And Your
Pardon?
Honor, if the court wants to set this over for the next date, I can certainly talk to my client and see if they're able to work out any sort of payment plan with Ms. Cummings with respect to the balance. I don't have any authority to do that today, but I can certainly inquire with
Okay.
my client.
All right. You understand that, Miss Cummings?
I sure do.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do, Miss Cummings, is I'm going to adjourn this to June 27th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Okay.
Okay.
In the interim, Ms. Dornbush is going to talk to her client, see if there can be a payment plan to try to make this manageable for you. It's just that you ended up with the court cost, and that's really what the problem is here. So we could figure this out. Don't lose hope. We'll get it done. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you. That's an in-person
I got a
hearing on that.
question.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
they keep adding late charges when you don't pay? So does it stop here?
Okay. All right, Ms. Cummings. Ms.
Yes.
Cummings,
Yes.
hang on. We'll figure that piece out for any late fees that come later in the month. But let's try to figure out if this were the amount, how we're going to get that paid. And let's try to work out a payment plan, and then we'll figure out the late fee part after that. Okay. So let's take it one step at a time. All right.
All right. Okay.
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 So I'll set it out on the 27th at 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing. Okay, Ms. Cummings?
I'll be here. I'll be there.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Arbor Woods versus Heather Randall.
I'm here.
Oh, there she is. All right. All right. What is the plaintiff's claim in this case?
With costs, Your Honor, $3,889.75.
Okay, Ms. Randall, how are you intending on getting that paid?
I just got back to work. I've been in the hospital. I had surgery and then had to subsequently go back in. So I'm back to work starting Monday full time. So 2 weeks from then, I can make a payment of at least $1,200, and then I'll have to see, the dates on the rest so I can figure out. I do get paid weekly.
Okay. All right. So hold on there for a moment.
Sure.
When's the next time you think you can make a payment of at least $1,200?
Next Friday?
On the 20th?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it would be Saturday.
Right. Gotcha. So on And by the 27th, can you make another payment or no? If you
Yes.
get paid weekly.
Yes,
All
I
right.
get paid weekly.
How much would that be, you think?
600.
600? All right.
Yes.
Okay. So here's what I'll do. Have you reached out for assistance at all, ma'am?
Like I said, I just got out of the hospital, and I just got all of this paperwork. So I will be filing, for a state emergency relief and looking into other things, looking into other
Okay.
avenues.
All right. Let's do this then. You look at making those payments. I will adjourn this to June 27th, 2025 at 1 p.m. And then what I'm going to do, did you see the video and do you have the numbers and things like that or?
Yes, I saw the video.
Okay. Okay, so what we'll do is let me also, since you just got out and to try to make sure things stay on track, you still make those payments. I'm going to put you into a breakout room with our court liaison officer.
Okay.
And talk about what might be available for you. Okay.
Okay. Thank
Try
you
to
so
get you
much.
back on track.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Court calls the case of Arbor Woods versus, you got to put her in everything. Arbor Woods versus Damon Stafford. And also Banseri Polk. Stafford Polk, not here. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Stafford did reach out to our office this morning, Your Honor. He indicated that he thought court was yesterday and that he is traveling today. He indicated he was going to try to get onto the Zoom call today, but he didn't specifically know when his plane was departing or if that would interfere. I let him know that if he wasn't able to sign on to Zoom, I'd have to request the default judgment. He indicated, Your Honor, his intent to have everything paid on June 25th. The statutory 10-day period is June 23rd, and I let him know that. And I did also let him know that he could reach out to Arbor Woods directly to see if they would hold off on seeking the writ until after June 25th.
Okay.
So for that, I do have to request the default judgment, and there is rent to retain of $1,483.73, costs of $242 for a total of $1,725.73.
All right. What I'm going to do in this case, and thank you for informing the court in your candor, I'm going to grant a judgment for possession to the plaintiff with the redemption amount in the amount requested. I will do this since they reached out and he indicated a specific date, and I don't think it's going to cause any harm. A writ to issue the 25th. I'll do it that way, and I realize I'm doing that over the objection of plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court does call the case of Arbor Woods versus Carol Toronto and Judith Wells.
So here. Oh, I'm here.
Okay, hello, Ms. Wells. All right. What is plaintiff's claim?
With cost, Your Honor, $3,481.44.
All right. Ms. Wells?
Your Honor, if I would be allowed to speak for Miss Welts, I'm Carol Taranto's daughter.
I'm
And,
sorry?
I'm Allison Kirby. Sorry. I was wondering if I would be allowed to speak for Miss Welts and Carol Taranto. I'm their daughter and granddaughter, respectively.
Okay. So you're the daughter and
I'm Carol
granddaughter.
Taranto's daughter and Judy Welts' granddaughter. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Normally I'll let you go ahead. All right. What did you want to say?
Thank you. I really appreciate that, Your Honor. I would like to request a motion for continuance. If possible, Carol Taranto is the primary provider and therefore has more of an idea of the finances, but she's currently in the hospital. So I was hoping if we could push this case until she was released.
All right. So let me ask this before I do anything. Is there any amount that can be paid within the next couple weeks? Do you know? Or
I don't currently know the state of her finances, unless that was something
okay,
that
I got
I
you.
would be paying, but yes, that I'm unaware of that. I'm sorry.
All right, Miss Wells, you don't have any idea as to whether something can be paid or not?
No, I don't know, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Here's what I'll do. I will adjourn the matter to the 27th, 2025 at 1 p.m. That's an in-person proceeding. Are they going to potentially be in need of any assistance, ma'am, do you think, or?
I'm sorry, I'm sitting with Judith here. We are currently having
Hey,
a very
who
hard
are
time.
you?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm just helping Judith in person. My name is Anna. I'm one of her granddaughters.
Okay, so I got granddaughters and all over the place here. All right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
sorry. One has been coordinating getting the hospital to like fax documents over, I guess, and then I'm the one that is in person with Judith.
Okay.
But I
All right.
am seeking resources for her for all of the above, like any type of state assistance, anything that we can be directed to, we would appreciate.
All right. So here's if they seek assistance through DHHS or anything along those lines, or any other type of assistance, in the packet, there is what's called the rental assistance form, the packet that was served on them. That would need to be filled out with, and if it's DHHS or a state emergency relief, there's a tracking number that would have to be put on that form. All right. If there's any other type of assistance, that would have to be listed out. And then that form needs to be filed with the court by Wednesday. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, I got it, Grandma.
Okay.
You got that? Okay. And here's what I will do also. She's just going to be busy today. Let me have I guess the two things here. It will put you in with my court liaison officer, and they may be able to apprise you of other assistance that might be available. Okay?
Thank you so
Yes.
much, Your Honor.
Thank you. So that's on the 27th. That's an in-person hearing. All right. But we'll go from there on that. All right.
Thank you,
Yes.
Your
Hold
Honor.
on. Pardon? Who's the last name?
The one with Judith Wells, the granddaughter.
Oh, the granddaughter that's with Judith Wells. For our records, we need your last name.
Jones.
I told you it was really easy. No, I'm kidding. All right. All right. Well, so you guys hang on the line. We'll put you into a breakout room with Amy, and she'll be able to discuss some things with you. Okay?
Yes, thank you
Yes,
so much,
yes,
Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Arbor Woods versus Roy Williams.
There's a second tenant.
Oh, I'm sorry. And Terry Williams. Roy or Terry Williams, not here. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. There's rent to retain of $785.24. Cost of $242 for a total due of $1,027.27. We'd ask for a default possession only judgment with writ to issue after 10 days.
Judgment to the plaintiff. That is by default for possession, redemption amount, in the amount requested, writ issue 10 days. Northfield Estates versus Emma Lowe.
Hello,
Hello, Miss Lowe. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I think I'm okay. All
I
right.
feel
And
excited.
what
I've
is
seen you on court cam before. I feel like I'm talking to a celebrity.
Yes, Miss Dornbush is a celebrity. All right. All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
With cost, Your Honor, $1,438.65.
All right. All right. Ms. Lowe, how are you intending on getting that paid?
I just got my first paycheck at my new job today, so I was gonna pay 800 of that, and then before my next paycheck should be able to come up with the rest of that. balance.
Okay, so you're gonna pay 800 today?
Yep.
Okay. And
Your
then
Honor,
there,
just to clarify, my client reported that Miss Lowe already paid 800 today, so is she gonna pay another 800 then?
Correct. This was
Okay.
my first paycheck at my new job. I lost 2 jobs in 3 months, but I have 2 new jobs. So I'm hustling, trying to get that money paid.
Gotcha. Okay, I just wanted to clarify, Miss Lowe, because I knew you had made the one,
Okay.
so.
okay,
Yep.
so you already paid the 800.
I paid an 800 this morning. I have another 800 coming tonight.
Okay, so there's gonna be a total of 1,600 that's paid.
Before, yeah, by Monday, when they get the after hours drop.
Okay. All right, so if you do that, what will likely happen, I'll give you an adjourn date of the 27th, 2025 at 1 p.m. But that will look like that will take care of everything. And so that if that's paid, the case would be dismissed, or am I wrong?
Nope, the 1438.65, Your Honor, already takes into account the $800 payment made this
I
morning.
got you. That makes sense. I'm sorry. Okay. So you're gonna pay the 800. I'll adjourn it out to the 27th at 1 p.m.
If I
Make
have
that
that
other
balance.
pay, make that,
Thank you,
okay?
sir.
And so when's your next check? After,
It's 2 weeks from today.
so on the 27th?
Yep.
Okay, so do you think you can get something paid if it's gonna be the balance before, say, noon on that day?
If it's paid total by balance, does that mean I don't have to show up in person?
What, you don't want to be there in the presence of a celebrity?
I
What's the
do, but
deal?
I just
No.
don't want to miss any more work. Just starting
No.
at my new job.
Ma'am, if everything gets paid prior to the court date, they would dismiss it.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank you so much. Yes, that
All
will be
right.
done.
So, all right, then I'll set it on the 27th at 1 o'clock. Miss Lowe, you
Thank
have a
you so
great weekend.
much. You too.
All right. Take care.